Finally, the season 19 has ended, and right now it is the new beginning of season 20. In the season 20, Team Pokemon Unite has made lots of changes and adjustments. Like they have did some adjustment and buff on certain Pokemon. Not only that, they have also made some changes on Master Rank and Draft Pick system. So right now, even if you are on Master Rank or Draft Pick, you can still use the X licensed Pokemon. Because of that, the meta has drastically changed in the season 20. So right now, if you are confused about which Pokemon is the best for solo ranking in season 20, well, don't worry. In this video, I will show you top 10 best Pokemon for solo ranking which are in meta and has the potential to carry the entire game by itself. Not only that, I will also show you their best build, battle item, boost emblem with some tips and tricks. By the way, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get more this type of Unite content. Now, without wasting any time, let's begin the video. In the number 10, we have the X-licensed Pokemon Mewtwo. Thanks to the new update, now Mewtwo is available to play in Master Rank and Draft Pick mode. Because as I have mentioned earlier, in the season 19, the X-licensed Pokemon were banned to play in the Master Rank and in the Draft Pick mode. Anyways, in the current season, Mewtwo is a great Pokemon for the solo ranking. He is one of the Pokemon which has the potential to deal very high amount of damage. The damage of the Mewtwo is so high that he can even penetrate through the defense of any defender and supporter. The attacking range of the Mewtwo is pretty large. Because of that, Mewtwo gets a very high advantage during the team fight. He can continuously attack the enemy by maintaining a pretty good distance from them. So it's become quite difficult for the enemy to reach out to Mewtwo and kill him. The best part about the Mewtwo is that the most of the damage he deals comes from the basic attack. Because of that, he gets an advantage of continuously moving and changing the position while dealing the damage to the enemy. So if you are new in Pokemon Unite and want to rank up faster, especially in the solo ranking, you should definitely play Mewtwo because he is a very easy to play Pokemon but yet count as one of the most strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Mewtwo. For the battle item, I would recommend you to take X attack, and this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Mewtwo. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 9, we have another X-licensed Pokemon, Miraidon. In the current season, Miraidon is definitely a good Pokemon for the solo ranking. But at the same time, he is also good for the duo, trio and 5-man ranking. Because Miraidon is one of the Pokemon which has the damage, the agility and great mobility. He has the highest sustainability among all the other attacker Pokemon. And about the best moveset for Miraidon, well, all the moveset of Miraidon are good. But if you like to play by maintaining a distance from the enemy, you should use the moveset like Charge Beam and Thunder, because with these two moveset you can maintain a very long distance from the enemy, but at the same time you can also deal very high amount of damage. And while using these two moveset, Miraidon becomes one of the most reliable backline attacker Pokemon. But if you are a type of player who likes to play very aggressively and dive into the enemy, you should definitely use the moveset like Electro Drip and Parabolic Charge. With these two moveset, Miraidon can deal very high amount of damage, but at the same time, he can easily dive in the backline of the opposing Pokemon and take down the damage dealer. By the way, in order to master Electro Drip and Parabolic Charge, you will require a little bit of practice because these two moveset are not a beginner friendly, but Thunder and Charge Beam is totally a beginner friendly moveset. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Miraidon. For the battle item, you can take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Miraidon. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 8, we have the Mimikyu. Mimikyu might be in the role of the all-rounder, but he is totally like an assassin. The unique moveset of the Mimikyu gives him tremendous advantage to mark any specific Pokemon and kill them instantly. Definitely the damage and the mobility of Mimikyu is pretty high, but at the same time the sustainability and the durability of Mimikyu is also pretty decent. So if you know how to play Mimikyu properly, there is a very high chance that you can do 1 vs 2 or 1 vs 3 very very easily. These are the things which makes Mimikyu a very decent Pokemon for the solo ranking. About the best moveset for Mimikyu, well, all the moveset of Mimikyu are good. You can either use Flare Up with Shadow Sneak or Shadow Claw with Shadow Sneak. Both the moveset are really good in their own. It's totally depend upon what you prepare and what you are comfortable with. Anyways, this is the build that I use for Shadow Claw and Shadow Sneak, and this is the build that I use for Flare Up and Shadow Sneak. For the battle item, you can either take X attack or eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I use on Mimikyu. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 7, we have another X-licensed Pokemon, Zacian. Zacian is one of the all-rounder which has the damage, the agility and great durability. The damage of the Zacian is pretty high that he has the potential to deal one-shot damage to any squishy Pokemon. The agility of the Zacian is also quite good. It will help you to easily go in the backline of the opposing team and take down the damage dealer. And because of good durability of Zacian, you can sustain in a team fight for a longer period of time as compared to other Pokemon. But the only problem with the Zacian is it is way too hard to master him properly. You need lots of practice in order to master Zacian. And if you are new in Pokemon Unite, I won't suggest you to play Zacian, because if you don't know how to utilize the moveset of the Zacian properly, he totally becomes a very weak Pokemon. That is the reason why I always suggest the newbie not to even think about the Zacian. About the best moveset for Zacian, it's definitely Sacred Sword and the agility. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Zacian, and for the battle item I would recommend you to take the eject button, because the eject button will increase your mobility even much more, and this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Zacian. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 6, we have the fighter boy Blaziken. Blaziken is one of the all-rounder which has the durability, agility and great mobility. But the burst damage of Blaziken is quite low as compared to other Pokemon that I have put in this top 10 list. Despite of being less burst damage dealing capabilities, Blaziken can deal pretty high amount of damage gradually, because he uses all his 6 moveset to deal damage. And when you use all the moveset of Blaziken in a specific target, accumulatively the damage becomes very high. If you watches the tournament of Pokemon Unite, you might have noticed that even professional players picks Blaziken in the tournament, because the Blaziken is also really good for the team fight as well. The durability of the Blaziken helps him to sustain in a team fight for a longer period of time and also deal pretty high amount of damage gradually. So definitely Blaziken is really good for the solo ranking, but at the same time he is also really good for the duo, trio and 5-man ranking. But remember this, it is quite hard to master Blaziken properly. He is not for the beginner players. Anyways, these are the build that I use on Blaziken. For the battle item, always take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I use on Blaziken. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 5, we have the cool boy Absol. Absol is one of the speedster which has the damage, the agility and great mobility. The damage of the Absol is so high that he can literally one-shot any squishy Pokemon, and his damage can even penetrate through the defense of any defender and supporter. So if you are looking for very high damage dealing capability Pokemon, you should definitely try out Absol. The mobility of the Absol is also pretty good. Because of that, he can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and take down the damage dealer. And the best part is you don't need lots of practice in order to master Absol properly. You just need a little bit of practice on Absol and then you are good to go. The power spike of Absol comes when he reaches level 7, and after reaching level 7 you can play quite aggressively. So that is the reason why in the early game you should always try to go in the jungle so that you can level up faster and reach level 7. When you are playing Absol, always try to kill the damage dealer of the opposing team first. If you do so, it will give little bit of upper hand to your teammate. Anyways, this is the build that I use on Absol. For the battle item, take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I use on Absol. You can take a screenshot if you want. In In the number 4 we have the ghost type Pokemon Gengar. Gengar is one of the speedster which is also named as king of one-shot damage dealer. In Pokemon Unite, Gengar has one of the most highest damage dealing capabilities. The damage of the Gengar is so high that he can one-shot any squishy Pokemon in just a blink of an eye. The mobility of the Gengar is also pretty good. Because of that, he can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and take down the damage dealer. And by using the Unite move also, Gengar can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and destroy everyone. That is the reason why Gengar becomes a game changer, especially in the final stretch. Because as I have mentioned earlier, by using the Unite move, Gengar can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and take down the damage dealer. If you manage to kill the damage dealer of the opposing team, there is a very high chance that you can win in the Rayquaza fight. So whenever you are playing Gengar, try to save your Unite move for the final stretch. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Gengar. For the battle item, take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Gengar. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 3 we have the Zoroark. Zoroark is one of the speedster which has the highest mobility in Pokemon Unite. Because of that, he can easily chase down the enemy and can also dive in the backline of the opposing team and take down the damage dealer. And after that, he can easily escape as well. Not only that, even the damage dealing capabilities of Zoroark is also pretty decent. Zoroark is the pure assassin in the Pokemon Unite. If you like to play a Pokemon which can assassinate others, then you should try out Zoroark. But remember this, Zoroark is not for the beginner players. You need lots of practice in order to master him properly. So again, if you are new in Pokemon Unite, stay away from Zoroark. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Zoroark. For the battle item, take full heal. And this is the boost emblem that I'm using on Zoroark. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 3 we have the green kitty Leafeon. There are lots of reasons why Leafeon is in the number 2 in this top 10 list. Number 1 reason is that the early game potential of Leafeon is really good. In just level 4, Leafeon unlocks either Solar Blade or Leaf Blade. Because of that, Leafeon can deal very high amount of damage in just level 4. The power spike of Leafeon comes in just level 6. And Leafeon unlocks his Unite move only in level 8. Because of all these reasons, Leafeon can dominate the early game very effectively, and he can also dominate the mid game and the late game if you know how to play him properly. Number 2 reason is that the damage of the Leafeon is so high that he can literally one-shot any squishy Pokemon, and the mobility of the Leafeon also helps him to easily dive in the backline of the opposing team. Number 3 reason is that the cooldown of the Leafeon's moveset are very low, especially the cooldown of the Unite move. You can recharge the Unite move real quick. Because of that, you can snowball throughout the entire game with the Unite move. These are the reason why professional players always ban Leafeon in the professional tournaments. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Leafeon. For the battle item, always take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Leafeon. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 1 we have none other than Tyranitar. I don't think I have to mention anything about the Tyranitar, because as we all know that right now Tyranitar is a broken Pokemon. In the current season, Tyranitar is totally a beast, a monster, a demolisher, and a god of destruction. I don't think there is any way you can stop Tyranitar if the user know how to play Tyranitar properly. Just look at this clip, I'm totally demolishing everyone here. And if you are not using Tyranitar to push rank in the current season, you are totally making a mistake. You should definitely take an advantage of this broken Pokemon to push rank, especially in the solo ranking. But there is a slightly problem with the Tyranitar. In the early game, Tyranitar is a super weak Pokemon. He needs lots of farm to evolve into Tyranitar. So in the early game, there is a very high chance that enemy might molest you. That is the reason why in the early stage, try to level up faster and evolve into Tyranitar. And after evolving into Tyranitar, you can demolish everyone. By the way, while playing Tyranitar, use Stone Edge and Ancient Power. These two are in the meta right now. And do you know what's the best part about the Tyranitar? It is quite easy to master him. You just need a little bit of practice and then you are good to go. So even if you are a new player in Pokemon Unite, you should definitely try out Tyranitar to push the rank. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Tyranitar. As you can see in this build, I'm using 2 defense health item and only 1 attack health item. Because because Tyranitar needs quite a bit of defense. And for the battle item, I personally prepare eject button. And this is the boost emblem that I'm running on Tyranitar. You can take screenshot if you want. That's it for today guys. And if this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.